I'm so sorry. I just couldn't finish tidying up the ribbons, and now I've dragged you into staying this late.
Don't worry about it, Belle. It was my turn on duty today anyway.
Himeko? Is this?
Yes. In this imaginated classroom, the after-images of the students from 15 years ago still linger in their original places.
Tomorrow is the school anniversary. I wonder how lively it will be. They've invited parents here. Will your parents be coming? Oh, Full Wish?
That's Full Wish from her youth.
Yeah, Dad already took time off. By now he's probably out on the streets with Mom, picking out formal wear. If it's my daughter's performance, we have to dress to the nines. That's just like him. He always loves making those kinds of jokes.
Then you'd better put on a good show, huh?
There won't be a show anymore, Belle. Because unexpected guests have arrived. Everyone from the Astral Express and Himeko. I didn't expect to meet you here. Did you enjoy yourselves at Star Rail Fest? Did you grant those smiling kids their wishes and bring joy to everyone?
Full Wish.
Himeko, you recognized me at just a glance. I thought Himeko was at school like the rest of us that day. When I saw Belle lying in a pool of blood, when I was crushed under the collapsed wall and unable to breathe, the thought crossed my mind. Poor Himeko. If you had met the Herald of Death with that delicate frame of yours. But who would have guessed? You're alive and living quite well. You became the navigator of the Astral Express, roaming freely beyond the sky, just like the three of us used to talk about in our chats. Your dream came true. Congratulations are in order. Himeko, do you know 15 years have passed? And my wounds have mostly healed. Regrettably, there are some scars and emptiness that time can never heal. Look around. Even here, even with these phantoms, their seats are still empty. Belle, Leon, Ziania, Mia, and so many others. 15 years have passed, and I've learned that time isn't a cure. It's a shroud, binding itself around me, layer upon layer. So I made a decision. I'm going to tear it open. I'm going to let everything bloody and unforgettable beneath it see the light of day again.
See the light of day? You were a victim of the Herald of Death, only to become the second Herald of Death yourself? You intend to use a power you can't possibly comprehend to win the Phantasmoon games. How are you any different from that monster back then? From the monster that took your parents' lives? I'm sorry. I shouldn't compare you to that devil. You still have a chance. Stop this now.
Stop? I'm sorry. I don't quite understand what you're saying. I would advise everyone to think twice before making rash accusations. As a media professional, let me give you a piece of advice. From now on, when you're in front of a camera lens, watch your expressions and be cautious with your words and actions. At the very least, try not to look so flustered during this public exchange. We live in a world where we are constantly gazed upon and watched by others. This camera crew was originally prepared for my upcoming speech, but meeting you all here, it really adds a wonderful dramatic flair. To the audience watching from your screens, you know my name, and I know that right now, you are watching me. "15 years ago, with the tacit approval of the IPC and the Arcadia Council, the Master of Elation's divine ritual degenerated into a barbaric, bloody game. You and I, the residents of this Arcadia, surrendered a lifetime of dignity, wealth, and time to them. All in exchange for a single full meal. We are surrounded by bizarre entertainment and stimulating gore. We soak all day in shallow, boring programs, achieving nothing. And now, we must live in fear of the unscrupulous atrocities of these supplicants from beyond the sky, forcing smiles as we applaud and cheer for them. Is this the happiness the god promised us? No! Absolutely not! The Master of Elation would never be deceived by miracles, but with pain and blood. What they desire to see are heartfelt smiles. And so, they granted me a revelation. Everyone, on that evening 15 years ago, what saved me was not luck. It was not the supplicants, and it was certainly not the IPC. Right here, as the Herald of Death approached, step by step, the one who sent down a miracle was the Master of Elation. They allowed me to escape with my life. And when I was trapped in a small room, consumed by loneliness, they sent me a mask. They revealed my mission to me, to bring happiness back to a plain Arcadia that has lost its smile. I, Fullwish, survivor of the Bloodstained Games, hereby formally announce that I will join the Phantasmoon Games! In this game, I shall win the Eon of Elation's authority. And then, I will make smiles of happiness bloom on the faces of every single person in plain Arcadia! Himiko, don't frown. Smile. I will bring happiness to you too, just as I will bring it to everyone. I won't manipulate the Phantasmoon Games like those high and mighty IPC executives. nor will I treat the rewards granted by the god of elation as bargaining chips for profit. We are in plain Arcadia, so we should decide the winner in a plain Arcadian way. I'll give you a stage if that's what you want. I invite you all to a televised debate at Full Wish TV in Seafeld City. The invitation extends to all supplicants.
A plain Arcadian way? That's just a way that benefits you. We're not going.
You can refuse, of course, but then, under the gaze of billions of viewers, you must accept your public image as frauds deceiving the world and cowards with guilty consciences. Remember, this isn't just an invitation. It is your only chance to defeat me in front of everyone. Since you believe you represent what is right. The stage is set. Come and perform this final act that will determine the future of the Arcadia with me. Or simply leave. The choice is yours.
Darn it. Are we just going to let Full Wish walk away?
We are right in the middle of the cameras she prepared. Remember to be cautious with your words and actions. Let's leave here and return to the Express.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Arcadian Morning Report. We're continuing our exclusive coverage. Just moments ago, we received some shocking news. The head of our station, Lady Foolwish, has officially announced that she will be entering the Phantom Moon Games as a supplicant.
At the same time, Lady Foolwish has announced a blockbuster special! The end of a century TV debate! She is inviting supplicants to the Foolwish TV studio to discuss and debate the topic, what kind of future will the Phantom Moon Games bring to this world?
What a magnificent topic! At a time when supplicants from beyond the sky are brazenly suppressing and insulting our local heroes, finally, a supplicant has appeared who truly cares about and represents the citizens of Plain Arcadia.
Too true! Ever since these Phantom Moon Games began, signs of things spiraling out of control have been popping up everywhere! First, the famous streamer Sparksy tried to spread a mimetic virus. Then the nameless of the Astral Express clashed with the Daybreak Squadron, causing severe damage to Lookout Cloud and the Skyline Express line!
With so many accidents happening, you really can't help but wonder, are we seeing a repeat of the Bloodstains games from 15 years ago?
You got that right! Speaking of the Bloodstained games 15 years ago, Miss Foolwish herself was a survivor of that tragedy! She's come such a long way, never once letting her painful past keep her down. A true legend of resilience. Now Miss Foolwish has joined the fray as a supplicant. She must be here to stop the tragedy from repeating itself and to reclaim the peaceful days this world deserves from the hands of supplicants from beyond the sky.
Will she be able to shoulder the wishes of all Plain Arcadia and set this game right again after it's spiraled out of control? Let's wait and see.
Ugh, so shameless. Reporting news about your own station director on your own TV station, and you still have the gall to pretend you've received some shocking news? Don't you guys talk to each other internally?
I see. Full Wish actively issued a challenge. I ran a search. Seafeld City is a port town neighboring Duo-Mention City. Full Wish TV's predecessor, Seafeld TV, is located there. Looking at it this way, the televised debate is obviously nothing more than a diversion. What Full Wish wants most is for us to walk right into the trap she's prepared. So, what do you think?
You're really going to the TV station to fight her?
I'll go. But not to debate. I'm going to tear off her mask of happiness in front of the entire audience. But before we act, I need more help.
Help? We can all help you. Wait, do you mean...
Sparksy.
Ever since Sunday was dragged into the Phantom Moon Games by Yao Guang, he hasn't returned for days. However, I haven't heard of him making any public appearances either. Asking him to cooperate as a wildcard right now is a good idea.
But what's the deal with finding Sparksy?
Whether Sparksy counts as our ally is a massive question mark. But right now, there is indeed something we need her help with. Full Wish said that when loneliness trapped her in that small room, the Master of Elation sent her a mask. Her claim might just be a glorified way of saying the tavern sent her an invitation. But that phrasing reveals that she is likely a masked fool. If every fool has stepped into the tavern before, then there must be traces hidden there left by Full Wish as a fool. Just like...
How we track down the clues about SparksyCon?
Sparksy. Will she stand on our side? Well, this is certainly a condition she wouldn't be able to turn down.
You just said, as for the brewing storm, whether the turmoil once again is the result of the Laughter's mischief. What exactly was that supposed to mean? You mean to say the Joy Seeker wants to destroy the very rules they laid down? The game they wove with their own hand?
Come over here. This fox mask is a ritual instrument I once used in dance and music. It accompanied me across vast distances in search of an elixir of immortality, a mark of who I was in life. I've lost count of how long it has been since I last wore it since being enlightened and transplanted here. But here it is, presented upon the altar again, which means...
As the game's referee, you've been pushed onto the field. In this moment, you are now a supplicant.
For over a century, I presided over a war game in which supplicants carved out their own territories and vied for supremacy, using the power of the masks. I've also hosted survival games where emanators took the stage to compete, invoking eonic powers to try and slaughter every last opponent in a single day. Whenever the Phantom Moon Games are at risk of being suspended or disrupted, I will use the authority granted by the Elation and the Abundance to measure, judge, and punish any violators. I guess you could call me the security protocol for the Phantom Moon Games. But now, someone has gone and designated me as a supplicant. It's utterly unheard of. Who else but the Laughter could pull off something like this?
Perhaps. Some entity harboring a deep-seated hatred for the Laughter.
Who could it be? Entities like that. I couldn't count them all even if I used my toes. I learned that jerk ages ago. Take a joke too far, and you're bound to make enemies. See? Instant karma.
Never mind who he is or what he's after. We're here now. So what do you plan on doing? Fortune rests upon misfortune, and misfortune gives rise to fortune. Becoming a supplicant isn't necessarily a bad thing. Wouldn't that allow you to step openly into this chaos and drag the puppet master into the light?
You're looking to team up with me? Team up with someone from the abominations of abundance that you Xianzhou people despise?
That's hardly appropriate. You're an ancient sacred tree. It's the furthest thing from an abomination of abundance, no?
Oh, your standards are certainly flexible. The hunt and the abundance. We really make quite the interesting pair. So, where do you plan on starting?
How about we start by freeing my friend in the tree?
I nearly forgot about that. Chip away, little bird. I'll allow it.
General Yao Guang and Miss Fox, I've received some news that might interest you.
A happiness surgery that wipes away suffering. The power of abundance in this world is disgustingly excessive. It seems the most terrifying omen I foresaw may not originate from the Stellaron hunters, nor from plain Arcadia itself. This supplicant, called Full Wish, is also a dangerous variable.
If you can, I would ask that you direct your focus toward Seafeld City.
You want to take a trip to Seafeld City? It seems I'll have to use some special measures to shorten the journey.
Oh, this is the part I've been looking forward to the most. I've always been curious where exactly this secret court is located, and what it connects to.
Xianzhou lady, let me show you this world's most impressive method of travel. Here we are!
Already? Wait. Why are we at the station?
Because naturally, we're taking the express to get where we're going.
All that buildup, and this is your idea of an impressive method of travel?
Well, what else? That's why I said you've definitely never seen this before. It's the Bulletworm Express. I bet you've never taken a ride on this.
You're the arbitrator of the Phantom Moon games. For crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way of getting around?
You're a great general of the Xianzhou for crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way to get around?
Fine, fine. For the first time in my life, I finally know what it feels like to be the fool.
Ding dong! The train bound for Seafeld City is arriving at the station.
Hey, you got any money on you? Spot me a ticket, would ya?
That's the second time.
without a trace. You haven't said a word the whole way, Xianzhou Diviner. Are you mesmerized by the scenery? Or is there something in your divinations weighing on your mind?
After casting divinations 1,000 times, one may learn to keep a still heart. Yet, each foreseen omen of doom still clouds the inner lake with gathering shadows. That is why, before divining, I usually wipe clean my mind's eye to clear away stray thoughts, lest the outcome be disturbed.
Take a word of advice from someone slightly your senior. Maybe it's nothing new to you. If we treat every approaching calamity like a final reckoning, wouldn't an infinite lifespan turn into prolonged suffering?
Enjoy the present. Indeed. Yet, worldly joys are fleeting as morning dew, while our duties are as immovable as heavy mountains.
Diviners often miss the fun right in front of them because they foresee tomorrow's suffering. But have you ever thought about this? That so-called suffering of tomorrow might just be the poisonous fruit sown by you being terrified today. It is precisely because we know the ending that every scene along the way is so precious and unique, isn't it? Look at this harbor before us. When I first set foot here, all these streets, the fishing boats, the people, none of them existed. As far as the eye could see, there was only fire. The seas had been vaporized, leaving only fractured seabeds and ash that blotted out the sun. The demonic legions from beyond still hadn't departed, and the waves that would surge into Dovebrook had, in that moment, not yet arrived. Just on the mountain over there, a painter and I looked out at the iron-red scars on the earth. She told me, that which vanishes is bound to return. She swore to use her brush to preserve everything claimed by the destruction.
It seems she succeeded.
And so, I too shall keep my promise to her, maintaining the course of the Phantasmoon Games until the sands of time slip away. With every descent into this game's cycles, I shall enjoy myself to the fullest. Like sipping tea, be it sweet or bitter, I shall savor the flavor of every instant. To do otherwise would be a disservice to the people and things that have passed.
To savor a fleeting moment against the backdrop of eternity, naturally the flavor is profound. A pity, though. Even as a long-life species, my time is brief compared to yours. As a Xianzhou native, the karma I carry is far too heavy. I could never learn how to be as carefree as you. Miss Evanescia, what to you is a game to be savored, is a life and death reality for the living beings of plain Arcadia.
All right then. Next up, I'm entering brooding and edgy serious mode.
That won't be necessary. I shall use the Eye of Ishvara to divine the fates of the people in Seafeld City. If they face imminent catastrophe, a red fate slip will be hanging above their heads. The rainbow surveys the heavens, perceiving 1,000 forms. Across the meridians of destiny, the jade abacus reveals its script. The celestial eye opens and shuts as calamity and fortune reveal themselves. Calamity looms overhead. The crimson slip is cast. Mr. Sunday will share my insight with you through the spirit bird, Miss Evanesia. Please, bear witness.
Is that their fate hanging over their heads?
Precisely. Come on, let's take a closer look.
Attention.
Odd. Why do these people have wheel slips hanging over their heads?
Yellow ducky nibbles flex.
Astral Express! Boo! Get out of Seafeld City! Astral Express! Boo! Get out of Plain Arcadia!
Oh, good afternoon. Would you two lovely young ladies care to join us in protest for the bright future of Seafeld City?
Hey, Pops. You guys are grinning like it's a holiday festival, but your slogans sound so fierce. Doesn't that feel a bit weird?
We Seafeld folk pride ourselves on our manners. Even when expressing dissatisfaction, we do it with a smile. Now that's real happiness etiquette.
We won't let anyone ruin this serenity. Come on, ma'am. We have a flag with us. You'll feel better in no time.
Their emotions are so synchronized. It's like they rehearsed it. This kind of happiness feels like some compulsory routine.
Their smiles send shivers down my spine. Hey, wasn't it your Director Fullwish who invited the Astral Express crew here to debate? Shooing your guests away like this is hardly polite.
You! You're from the Astral Express, aren't you?
Hey, so do I really look that much like a nameless? It's not like I have a boarding pass stuck to my face.
You... What are you so happy about?
Just look at you, dyeing your hair like that at such a young age, instead of doing something decent with yourself. You're no better than that bunny on the Astral Express. Anyone could tell you're not from around here.
Hey, jerk! It's not dyed. And for the record, March Bunny is adorable. Wait, what happened to all those happy smiles on your faces before? How did you flip the switch so fast?
You people from beyond the sky. You just don't understand our happiness. If you keep causing trouble, don't blame us if we get nasty.
My apologies. My little sister is young and doesn't know better. We'll be on our way.
Who are you kidding? Sisters? You two aren't even the same species. Cause any more trouble and I'll call a whole boatload of Ploos to toss you both into the sea as fish food.
Yellow Ducky Nibbles flagship store. The childhood treat your childhood's childhood grew up on.
spread the parts. Only the heart can judge.
The sun is shining and the vibes are immaculate. This is Full Whoosh TV's Happiness on the Street, bringing you real smiles straight from the streets of Seafeld. You two look like visitors from afar. I take it you're also following Plain Arcadia's grand event, the Phantasmoon Games?
Of course we're following it. It's not every day you see something this lively.
That's great. We've noted many echoing widespread concerns that the Astral Express's intervention is dragging our sacred Phantasmoon Games into a quagmire of competition with outsiders. What are your thoughts on this?
Widespread concerns? Mr. Reporter, I suspect your question already comes neatly packaged with its own answer.
Judging motives is futile. What we want to be focusing on is the real-life consequences of our actions.
Oh, that's so deep! Many Seafelders feel that rather than any IPC vision of prosperity, it's the healing smiles, healing Arcadias proposed by Lady Fullwish that is the more grounded future we desperately need. What is your take on this?
If the happiness comes at the cost of stripping away the perception of all pain, then it calls into scrutiny just how authentic such a happiness really is.
Exactly. By that logic, eating candy until your teeth fall out counts as happiness too, right? I mean, hey, at least it tasted sweet.
That's a very vivid analogy. Finally, a hypothetical question. If you had to choose, do you believe the preservation defined by outsiders or the happiness advocated by Miss Foolish better represents the future of Plain Arcadia?
The real future has never existed within such a narrow dichotomy. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you both for sharing. Have a wonderful day. All defensive answers, not a single morsel for us. This whole segment is wasted. Go find some citizens who can chuck us a few happiness testimonials to pad out the reel.
A wheel slip? This one's a lucky wheel, too.
Isn't that a good thing?
Welcome! Come try our happiness soda. One sip, and you'll be as lucky as Director Fullwish all day long.
Why is it always Fullwish? Doesn't she work in media? What's that got to do with soda?
Oh, you're an outsider. You would know. Director Fullwish is Seafeld City's pride and joy. She grew up just a street over. She's a true daughter of Seafeld. Can you imagine, after that terrible disaster 15 years ago? That child lost her whole family. Just a little kid. Truly heartbreaking. But she did herself proud. She pulled herself through it all, relying on sheer grit and optimism. Full Wish TV, back then it was still called Seafeld TV, even produced a special documentary about her called A Smile Against Adversity. I can't even tell you how many people were touched by it. And now, despite all her success, she hasn't forgotten to bring happiness to everyone. It's just amazing.
Do you really feel happy right now?
Of course! Just look at how happy I am. It's all thanks to the Research Society of Happy Smiles and Miss Fullwish. She not only supports the local economy, but she's brought with her a positive attitude toward life. We can all be just like her. Forget about all those painful memories from the past and just be happy every single day. Well, if you ask me, only someone who's come from suffering like her can truly want what's best for all of us. She's the one who could deal with all those outsider supplicants running amok and bring glory to our people. Come on, why don't you try some? It's on the house. You simply have to experience the unique taste of happiness that we have here in Seafeld. Guaranteed to make you forget all your troubles.